You're listening to Drummer Daily, the only daily podcast just for drummers. Hey, if you want to get better at playing with a click track, and who doesn't, go to boomclick.net/start today. Hey there, welcome back again to Drummer Daily. I'm so happy you're here. I say that every time, and I know I even say this a lot, but I say that I'm happy you're here because I really am happy you're here. I sit alone in a room and record these podcasts, and I put them out in the world, and I hope that someone listens to them. And the fact that you are listening right now really does mean the world to me, because my life's mission is just to equip drummers to be the best drummers they can be, and maybe even develop careers in music. And so the fact that even if one person, the fact that you're listening makes a difference, you're making it worth my while. I would do this if just you were listening. I promise you that. And so I really do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to spend it with me. So today I want to talk about something, and this kind of piggybacks off of what we talked about a couple of days ago, where I mentioned about are you playing just to get better and be better than other people, or are you playing because you love to play? But this is something a little more deep into that. And I want to talk about the details in our drumming. And even I had someone email me and talk about how he loved how I talked about this before, but the details within the details. And you know what, it just hit me that I promised him that I would credit him for the idea, but I don't have his email pulled up. If you're listening, I will give you credit in a future episode. I promise. I will bring it up when I find it later, give you credit for this. But he called it the details within the details, and that's exactly what I want to talk about today. Without sounding harsh, I do want to tell you this, and maybe I can call you out on this and step on your toes a little bit and maybe hurt a little bit, so that then you can improve your drumming, because that's what we want at the end of the day. And to enjoy drumming, that's another thing we do definitely want. And that is this. If you think that you have got something locked down, or that you're solid with something on the drums, you probably aren't. You probably are not solid with it. There is an infinite world of detail underneath even the simplest drum pattern. You play 1 and 3 on the kick, 2 and 4 on the snare, 8th notes on a closed hi-hat. There is so much going on underneath that if you think you've got something locked down, you have not explored that pattern enough, because there is always more there than what you're noticing at the moment. I have come to accept the fact that I will never have anything down. I could sit for 30 minutes and play the 2 and the simple beat I just described, and still find things that I'm not quite doing right and need to improve on. And incidentally enough, that approach to drumming, the simple drum patterns, is a common characteristic amongst every top-level professional drummer that I've ever met. It's the awareness and the acknowledgement that simplicity has so much complexity underneath it. And I just basically want you to look at something as simple that you're playing, and if you're spending all your time playing really complicated things, go back to something super simple, and without coming down on yourself, in a very loving way, tell yourself, this is not good enough. And what I mean is, don't get down and discourage yourself, but make that, if you can say that to yourself in a motivational way and say, you know what, I am not hitting the mark yet with this pattern. I need to work on this more. And do it with something painfully simple. You will unlock so much more groove, so much more, is solidity a word? So much more solid playing. You'll have so much more solid playing. You will start to take on characteristics of top studio drummers. I'm not saying you're going to be a studio drummer. What I mean is, you're going to start developing habits of listening to yourself play in ways that guys who are top level pros do. Do not accept whatever you're hearing from yourself as the best you can do. You can always do better. And you can always find more room inside of a pattern to find interest and detail. If it's kind of like there's like the mathematical, like the fractal thing. If you look up fractals online, if you don't know what they are, and I don't know much about them, but I remember discovering them when I was like in, I don't know, middle school or something, seeing pictures of what fractals are. And the idea is that like, you know, a pattern in nature is made up of a smaller version of that pattern repeated over and over again. And then that, you know, all of those little patterns are actually made up of smaller versions of that same pattern. And then it goes on forever, infinitely, you know, down like that. And I think that's true about drumming. There is an infinite level of depth we can find in even the simplest pattern, subdivisions, ways to approach accents or dynamics. And so I just want to encourage you today. This is going to be a short episode, but look at your playing and really think, like, is this it? Have I reached the pinnacle of this pattern? I never have felt that way about my own playing. And I think that's probably why some people are like, oh man, you play with such a simple, small drum kit. And I used to always joke, like, a lot of times, like, you know, when sound guys or stage techs are helping me set up, you know, and then I've met me before, they're like, oh man, really small kit. I'm like, yeah. I said, I'll figure I'll add more drums when I figure out how to use these. And it's a joke, but it's the truth. Like, I don't know. I used to play with like a kick, snare, and a floor tom and like one cymbal. And that was because I didn't think I'd kind of gotten through figuring out those things yet to move on to adding more. And I mentioned the other day playing a video game, and you know how I like to have just a couple of weapons in the video game because I don't like the decision-making process. With the drums, the same thing. Like, I don't like having all these options of drums to hit when I haven't figured out how to hit one great yet, you know? And I've been playing drums for, oh no, I'm about to make myself feel. I've been playing drums for 28 years, and I don't think I know how to do it yet still. I'm still trying to figure it out. And so if you haven't been playing for 28 years, you probably haven't figured it out either. I'm not saying that I'm better than you. I'm saying that I think I'm very average in many ways as far as my natural talent goes. So I don't want you to knock yourself lower than you are. You are as good as me. You're probably better than me. Most of you are probably better than me. I meet drummers all the time who are way better than me. And I always make sure I tell them that when I meet them too. But you're probably better than me. And I love that. But I want you to ask more of yourself. That's what me, like, you know, I refer to myself as the drum coach from time to time. And that's what I mean by that, is that even if I am not a football coach isn't a better quarterback than the quarterback. A football coach is not a better, whatever, any position. He can't play the position better than the players. If he did, he'd be playing. The coach is there to help the players get the most out of what they're doing where they're at. And that's a separate set of skills. And that's what I want to be for you. I want to help you get more out of your own playing, despite the fact that you were way better than me on the drums. And so hopefully that helps you kind of understand, like, the standard you can hold yourself to. So this is maybe the first ever Tough Love edition of Drummer Daily, but I hope it motivates you. If it did motivate you or it didn't, and this was garbage and it was the worst thing you've ever heard, either way, I'd love to hear from you. So send me an email, daniel@danielhadaway.com, and let me know what you think. And I will talk to you again soon. Hope you enjoy your drumming and ask more of yourself today. Okay, bye.